I got involved with the school system when my son was diagnosed with autism, and I saw, I was unemployed at the time, and so I figured what was the best way to kind of spend my time. I was looking for jobs, and they weren't really coming through, and so I said, well, let me see what I can do at school. That turned into me volunteering with the parent-teacher organization for our charter, and kind of manifested into me going into PTO president, as well as being on the board of trustees for about 3 years. While I was doing this, I was pretty much in the school from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And as I was kind of, paying attention to what my son classes were kind of doing, or what wasn't really happening, I noticed the overall need for children that were in his like situation. Data is important for parents because it gives you a base for real-time feedback and not just assumption. It helps you to understand the mindset of not just the researchers, but the policymakers and the people who really rely on data to make these decisions for our children. It also prepares you to have that conversation, to be able to feel empowered to sit at the table and say, no, I've seen the data, and this is what we interpret it as, and if that's not what it is, then we need to start from the basis and demand that, we need to start educating about what the interpretation is. If it's not what it plainly says, then what do you utilize it for? And overall, just for parents, just that empowerment piece of being the first step to being included in the conversation. I think that parents leading the conversation is important because we know our children best. We are the first step to being assistive in resolution to some of these challenges that I've heard some of the school leaders and policymakers bring to the table as they try to figure out what education is going to look like in the upcoming years. I think that it is more, I hesitate on saying like leading. I know we associate leading as parents stepping up and being accountable, but I think that the conversation on education is always going to be inclusive. And so in my eyes, although there is a general leader in the conversation, it is an inclusive conversation. And so the leading part is just making sure that everybody that is a stakeholder in a child's education is present at the table when decisions are being made.